Okay, I don't think the market has ever been as confusing as it is right now. I mean, on the one hand, we've got the housing market at a crazy spot. I don't even know where to start explaining this to you. But at the same time, we've been making some pretty major breakthroughs for the crypto space, which again would leave you positive. Now, talking about things that are positive, this ain't one of them. Amazon got some crazy news going on with them. They're being accused of partnering with a propaganda arm from China, which is quite peculiar. But then the opposite side, we also have got ourselves the correlation across U.S. assets rising, which is peculiar when you look back at this whole housing market situation. And I guess let's start with that one. Actually, first, if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this video, because I cover crypto news every single day. And that's right. That's it. Let's dive in, huh? So anyway, a lot of you guys are saying get a haircut. How are we liking it? 44.4% of home sellers gave concessions to buyers in March, near the highest share on record. The percentage has increased by about 10 points since July 2024 and has doubled since June of 2022. In Seattle, 71.3% of sellers gave concessions, the highest share among the 24 major metropolitan areas. This was followed by 63 and 56 in Portland and Los Angeles, and this comes as home buyers' demand weakened due to elevated home prices and mortgage rates, as well as rising economic uncertainty. The housing market is starting to cool down. But that's one part of the story. Here comes another. Correlation across U.S. assets is rising. The one-month correlation between the S&P 500 ETF, SPY, the popular bond tracking ETF, TLT, and the U.S. dollar index, DXY, spiked to 0.2 points, the highest in the last 6 years. Now, this is a sharp reversal from a negative correlation of 0.3 points seen in Q4 of 2024. This comes as major U.S. assets have declined in tandem this month. The SPY, TLT, and DXY have decreased 1.5, 2.0, and 4.5% so far in April. This is a very rare occurrence, suggesting investors' confidence in U.S. markets may be shifting. Keep watching bonds and the U.S. dollar. Yes, it is actually quite peculiar for these to move in tandem to this extent. I guess an AI bot here, I always assume that comments nowadays on Twitter are AI. The 0.2 correlation spike between all these assets, classes, let's call it, or whatever you call it, I guess indices, is a red flag for risk-off sentiment, echoing Trump's tariff impact and a potential de-dollarization trend. Bitcoin traders brace for pressure. Now, that part, I'm not so sure if this is something to be, looking negative towards. Brace for pressure in a positive sense. I mean, why would this be bad for Bitcoin? Now, talking about those tariffs, a few interesting things came out. One was that Temu was going to increase their prices, I think, by a lot, or I don't even really fully read the article. I've never used Temu actually before. What I have used, of course, is Amazon, and they had an interesting statement. They apparently said something pretty massive, right? Amazon stock fell today because of it. Well, apparently, the White House has accused Amazon of being partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. Now, why is that? Well, again, you can see here, Amazon stock has fallen after the White House accused the company of a hostile and political act. Apparently, Amazon said they were going to display tariff costs for consumers, as Amazon doesn't want to shoulder the blame for the cost of President Trump's trade war. So the e-commerce giant will soon show how much Trump's tariffs are adding to the price of each product, according to a person familiar with the plan. And so that caused a lot of backlash, presumably so. And that's what we're seeing right here. Amazon stock has fallen significantly in the wake of it. But now, talking about that tariff situation, I still don't fully know, honest truth to you, if Trump or the U.S. really has talked with China at all. They keep saying we're getting close to a deal or we can do. But apparently now, U.S. Treasury Secretary 𝗵𝗫 refuses to confirm if President Trump has even spoken with China's President Xi Jinping. I mean, it's interesting to say the least. I mean, China keeps saying they've not talked, right? China insists no tariff talks underway with Trump and Xi or top aides despite U.S. claims. But then Trump and the U.S. keep saying they have been talking and things are moving nicely. What is the strategy there? Is it to cause mass confusion? I mean, are they both in on it? Are they just saying like, yeah, let's screw around with these folks, or what? Or is it all just Trump's side? Or did they talk and China keeps claiming they didn't? What's going on there? Now, it's all leaving people pretty confused, and apparently, US consumers are getting even more pessimistic about the stock market. A record 12% of Americans see no chance that stocks will increase over the next 12 months, according to a 𝗕𝗓𝗪 survey. This percentage has tripled over the last 2 months. It has also surpassed previous peaks seen near 2022, 2009, and 2022 market bottoms. Furthermore, 44.5% of consumers expect stocks to decline over the next 12 months, the highest share since 2022 and highest, or second highest actually, in 14 years. Market sentiment has rarely been more pessimistic. Interesting to say the least, huh? Because again, it makes you wonder, what does this mean for our crypto coins? Does this again mean that people will now make a shift over? Ultimately though, I've already warned you that it don't really matter, all right? It doesn't really matter whatever these guys think. Theoretically speaking, as long as you just keep on buying that dip, again, my trades right now, these are some of the trades I've got on Blowfin. They look quite negative, right? Because again, we put a 400K into these trades and we're down like 40 bands. But all it needs is time. This will turn around. It's just going to take a bit of time. This Bitcoin trade was also at minus, I think, like, I don't remember exactly how much, minus significantly something before. Right now, it's up $3,000 again, 60%. And similarly with my bot trading strategy, I've already warned you, if you've got a weak stomach and you can't handle some unrealized losses for a little bit, this is not for you. But ultimately, I've already told you, this is one of the most profitable things I've seen in trading in a long, long, long time. These grid bots are literally what I'm going to show you every single day. I will never skip a day of me not showing you the results of the bots because I want you to feel how the daily profits rake in. There's no guarantees, but on the opposite side, it's no guarantee for you. I know it's like, for me, I know it works, so I'm going to be doing it. The only thing I got to do is just open a bigger account or open some bigger bots. Again, the idea was here, do a 15K challenge. Then I realized, why am I doing that? I should just go big or go home. But again, for all of you that do, you know, like I guess the more reasonable account sizes, here we go. So again, we put 3K in the XP bot. It's still doing pretty well at 30% profit right now. But again, we can, if we want to, we can press just cash out right now. You know, we can release the profits, take it all out. I don't want to though. All right, I trust the strategy. I'm just going to give it some time. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you look at these grid profits, right, that's the profit. It is automatically cashing out. If you look at it, the percentage over a yearly period is still ridiculously high. With the SUI bot here, it's, for example, 150%. With Solana, in this case, 26. With Bitcoin, about 20. That's, in my case, like one of the worst type of scenarios, really. But you can see, if I just let it go, the XP bot has already taken in 2.5% or so profit in a week. Bitcoin only 0.4, Solana only 0.4 also. SUI 1.75, that's almost 2% profit in just 4 days. Now you might say, if I just opened a long, you know, like I've done over on Blowfin, for example, you might have made me more. But the thing is, these will make you more money, the bots, if things are moving like this, up and down, up and down. If it only goes up, you're better off with the long, which you can also, of course, do on Payonics. But here the whole idea is that we want to be certain regardless of what the market does. So if the market goes up or down, it doesn't really matter. We're making profit, as if the price goes lower, it's buying. If the price goes higher, it's selling. And again, over time, just like how you can see on the sheet on the right, it will work itself out. And again, over time, right now you can see it's down and down and down. It was down significantly before. I'll show you with the SUI bot right here. It was down significantly before, a couple $100 maybe. Yeah, here you can see $200 down. And all of a sudden, bam, it spiked to, let's quickly see here, about $150 or so in the profit. Again, it did a ton of transactions. It's transacting all the time. As prices go down, it's just buying more and more and more. You can see it's currently in a 750 SUI long position because it's buying as the price goes down lower. And as the price goes up, it's going to sell. And the higher the price goes up, the more it's going to be able to sell for. But obviously, we prefer if it goes back down all the way to like $2 or whatever, so it can buy a whole ton and then starts moving back up, because that way our position size will be bigger and we can actually sell also for more profit. That's why I keep saying you want this to be at a loss for a while, because that means it's getting the position size up, it's buying more and more and more, because you can see how often it's already been buying and selling, very, very often here. But that's also the whole point. And again, SUI has been most volatile, so it's also, theoretically speaking, making us the highest amount of profit, even though it's not just been only up, right? Because from the moment that we decided to get into it, which is 366, it's actually down, but still, we've theoretically speaking locked in some profits already, and this eventually will figure itself out as well. All it takes is a bit of time. But I put my SUI price range, the top of the range, very, very high, because SUI is one of those coins that the moment it breaks out, it kind of goes a bit crazy, and I didn't want to put it too low. But I believe that's also why this profit is quite low. If I'd put the grid range at, for example, $4 here, it would have sold significantly more when it moved from 366 to 374 or something like that. But again, that's just a way off between risk and reward, really. If you also want to copy along, I've got some links down below. All you got to do, it's that simple. Just follow along by pressing the link down below to register. It's the first link right here. Just use that to register on Payonics. It's the exchange I'm using for these bots. Then you go to the bonus link just to claim yourself some nice juicy deposit bonuses for absolutely free. So why not? You can only get them with the link down below though. And then you can also follow my bots with these links right here. And I think tomorrow, maybe the day after, but this week for sure, I will open another bot and I'll probably put about 30 or 40 grand in it just to prove my point a little bit. And then from there, every week, probably... I'll just have to open some bigger things. But let me know down below which bot you'd like to see. Maybe we should do fun for XLM. Maybe that could be nice. Or just a bigger one for XRP or a different strategy, one with more or lower risk. But I'm thinking for right now, it's better to have just one risk because it's all very simple, all about 3x except for the XP one at 5x. Also, people don't really get wrecked. And then just open more and more different coins because I think almost any coin could work, really. And the riskier the coin, the more volatile, the more profit you can also make. But it requires a little bit more risk management by, of course, adding margin in case the price starts to make a nosedive. And again, remember, for SUI and for HBAR, we didn't go full all in because we perhaps wanted to get in back at it at a lower price because it's already quite high. But that's, again, a good part of the strategy. It'll always still work out, even if you start at an awful price because, again, if it goes down lower first, it'll still just keep on buying. Anyway, I've explained it a ton of times now. Still loving the strategy. It's still all going well. But anyway, market is really, really confusing. If something crazy happens, I'll cover it though. Because right now, I'd say the main situation is that nobody knows exactly what's going on with Trump or policy. Everybody's uncertain. That's exactly what the market is in terms of position. But altcoins are doing pretty good. Virtual's up 17%, really. Double-digit gains on some coins, and generally speaking, a upwards moving market yet again. Now, over the next few days, I'll be sharing some more trade tutorials or things of that sort because I'm thinking that the market is starting to pick back up. And it's, first of all, reflecting itself in the altcoins, man. I mean, a couple of coins are down, don't get me wrong. But generally speaking, up we go. And it's good to see. Bitcoin slowly but surely getting above 95,000. Things are finally starting to look back on the up and up. And I'm loving to see it because an altcoin season is what we all deserve. But ladies and gentlemen, that's about